created in 1990. It was created by the guy Guido van Rossum from the Netherlands. The funny story is that he created this language and he called it Python because of Monty Python's comedy series in British series. So this is the thing. So when people call Python Python, well, this is like russification of it, or Ukrainization, if you want. And this is not very good. I highly recommend you to call it Python, because if you will call Python, probably not all the foreigners will understand you. So it's Python. Yeah, you just find it. It is interpreted, high level, and object oriented. So what does it mean? When you say interpreted, it means that we don't have compilers. So if anybody had experience in C++ or C, you know that you write a code and then you need to compile it. It means that computer takes your code and it translates it to the machine learning code for this device to understand what do you want. Like it could be a little bit complicated, but in Python it's actually the interpreter is built into it. So your program is either runs, either no. So it is not possible that your program is not compiled. Then high level, it means that you don't need to work with memory issues. So you use computer memory. So this language is more towards user friendly. It's not for the engineers, but for user friendly. So that's why it is used. This is the reason why I told this. You need to understand why you study Python, because all the work you will do with data and with like machine learning algorithms, if you had done it in C or C++ or Java or whatever, it would be a huge amount of work for you to track the memory leaks and so on. So, but here, no memory leaks, and that's great. And then it's object-oriented, and object-oriented is like about it's about paradigm of language. So there are like different paradigms of languages. For example, functional programming, but this is object-oriented. So it means that in Python, this is what everything is an object. So it has some methods connected to it, and it brings like not the style, but the way of thinking you use when you work with style. Okay, so where Python is used? Python is used in many ways. So at first it could be like web applications different, or it could be desktop GUI or GUI, like stands for graphical user interface. So you can write actually a serious program with Python. So if you will graduate from this program and you will study Python good, you can actually go not only for as data sciences, but just if you would like to be an engineer. Software development. For example, I know that Barclays Bank, they have here in Ukraine hired one of our IT companies, and they make solutions for the big bank in Python. Right. So database access. So you can work with big databases. Scientific research. Yes, in Python you can also. You can also work about like very complicated scientific stuff. Some business applications, for example, I do data science and machine learning. That's what you're here for, and that's all. Yeah. No, etc. Sorry, not that's all, but etc. Okay, so another very big plus of Python. Why are we using Python? Why we are studying Python here? Is a great amount of libraries and modules, and this is extremely important because the Python community is strong and lots of stuff are already implemented. So you don't need to write like every symbol from the scratch. You stand on the shoulders of the other people. So yeah, so it's like for example, NumPy for pandas we will cover it and you will work with it a lot. It's libraries to work with the data and with algebra, especially with algebra. Scikit, this we will not cover in this course, but you will cover it probably during your studies at MBA program. This is like a library which consists a lot of implemented machine learning techniques and algorithms already. Matplotlib is used for data visualization, CBOR is used for data visualization, and so on. And plus, I put a plus that it's not obligatory, and maybe you will not study it, maybe, but just know that there are such things as Python and Django, and these are extremely useful tools for web programming. So basically, you can build with Python using Python and Django extremely great web pages. So this is kind of nice. So the current version right now is available in 3.7.4. So you need to remember that right now in the world, majority of people use either Python 2.5 or 3.7. So 2.5 is like an old version, 3.7 is like a new version. So between them there are of course others, but they are not that important. So well, just keep in mind that something you will Google, the changes are not that great, but maybe you will come to the situation that something was realized in Python 2.5 in one way, and in Python 3.7 in another way. Okay, so just generally, and you will need to read more which way you need. We will work with Python 3.7, and Python 3.8 was released actually last week, but we will not use it because it's like too fast, and I just yesterday came from the United Kingdom, so actually it was not really a lot of time to adjust. But anyway, the material for our course, like for meetings, for seminars, it's not that deep to be touched for us in this sense. So these versions, they change some deep things, but we will not cover through deep things so fast. Okay, and the last thing is Python is beautiful. Like when you write Python in Python code, Python is just really cool and beautiful, and there is such thing that Zen of Python. It's like people who program Python, they respect others, they write very clean, very efficient code, and like there are some principles they call Zen of Python, and one of the phrases like beautiful is better than ugly. And it's a couple of principles I'll show you later. Okay, so how to run Python, actually, what to do. Okay, so I can divide working with Python in four main ways. So the hardcore way is from command line. So you can basically install Python in your Mac or PC, or if you work with Linux, right? And you can install Python and do everything from using the command line. This is hardcore way. Nobody, actually, I will not tell nobody, but majority of people who work with data science and machine learning, they don't work with this. This is a way for hardcore developers. So if you are, for example, a guy working for EPAM or Global Logic, and you make a program for Barclays, a huge program which counts some financial stuff, right? Maybe you think about efficiency. Maybe you need to work like deeply. So you need to understand like deeper memory leaks and so on. So yeah, you work with it, but we don't. But just keep in mind that true programmers, true engineers, they work in command line. At least they can work in command line for some purposes. Okay, study browser command line. So this is like interesting stuff because many people teach people in Python, like in some browser like Explorer or Chrome or whatever. You can visit some sites and write code there just to study. Well, it is possible, and in some ways it's good, but it just really to study. I think it's better for you to give more stuff and for you to feel how it is really works. And really it works in two ways. So the main way is like we will use IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So basically, it is a program where you make a program, and I will show it to you in a couple of minutes. Yeah, and we will use, I suggest you should use PyCharm. It is free, it is very good, it is used all around the world. Yes, so it's free for basics, for your programs, for all the programs, maybe in the whole of this preliminary course and the main course of MBAI. You you can have only the free stuff. If you want to have real powers, you can buy the official product. Yeah, so that, but you don't need to do this here in Q-School Complex. So, it is called IDE, Integrated Development Environment, and we will use PyCharm. There are other IDEs, but PyCharm is the best, and like, there are no reasons not to use it still because it's considered to be one of the best. So, I think we will work this week in PyCharm. And there is like the data science week. There is Jupyter. It's also some kind of IDE, but it's really connected to the web. So it simplifies a little bit the code, and you can work in data. You can work with data only there. It just really looks much more simple, but well, many people begin to work in Jupyter from the scratch, but Jupyter stands for Julia plus Python plus R. R is programming language, Python is also obviously, and Julia is another programming language, and these three languages are used for data science, so they implemented a tool that in which you can work in this language, and actually it was several years ago, now you can work in other languages in this Jupyter. Okay, so the main thing, what is the difference? Like you can do a lot of stuff already in Jupyter, and in this year everything is developed, so Jupyter develops every day, but right now, if you have your machine learning project, like, I don't know, like neural network or something, and you have different files, and you have, and it must run a lot of time to study, well, I suggest you should use, at least when studying, your IDE on your PC, on your personal computer. Because in Jupyter it could be really annoying. So, yeah, so that's the thing. That's why I kind of recommend you to install PyCharm to the next meeting, and if you would like to run a program there, then you will see it's like a hotkey. You don't need to push by mouse this green arrow, you can just use hotkey. Yes. Okay, so let's get a little bit ready. Yes, right now I will switch to my IDE. Okay, and now this is where the programming is done. Now I will add some commands here and I'll switch on the lines. Yeah? Good? Okay. So here you see this is I opened PyCharm. So this is IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So this is the program in which you make programs. So for example, just what is going on here? So here you can see like usual bar, like file, edit, view, navigate, and so on. You can read a recommendation of what is here. Here you can see like the structure of files, also as usual. And here's the most interesting. This is it's called text code editor. So here I open some files. I created a file called main.py. Yeah, and remember please that .py tells computers that this is a Python file. So yeah, .py, and I call it main. So and here I can run my code, and it will. And if I want to implement, I must click this run. Either the hotkey I told you. Yes, this is like the first thing, and the second thing is the console. So console is like it's like it's like your, I don't know, the word, I really forgot the word. So in console you can tell computers tell commands to the computers, right? It's like your rule, how to say.
Oh,
What?
Steering wheel.
Yes, indeed.
Steering wheel.
Indeed. Yeah, so you can run the programs in those both ways. So, for example, we can start from writing the word is writing something. So I'll just check whether you can see what I write here. I'm writing here, and I expect that it will write yes. So this is my first program. Hello, KC, MBAI. So what happened? I wrote here, and this is text editor, and for it to run, I need either to push run and green arrow, but instead of this, I used to press Ctrl Shift and F10. Yeah, and this is too much keyboard, but I just prefer this way because I completely tell computer to run this file because there can be more other files. Yes, and in my console I see the result. So what's going on? So what console tells me that there is a file called which is situated here, and yeah, so this file is called main POS. So no, this is like the Python script, and this is the file main POI. I have run it, and it tells me hello KC MBAI. Why does it tell me hello KC MBAI? Because I asked him, computer, to print me this stuff. Yeah, and another interesting process finished with exit code now. Well, it means in this particular case, it means that everything is good. So there are no mistakes. So you can just remember from the beginning that if it process finished with exit code 0, it means good, like everything worked, and it is at least syntactically it is good. If it is 1, then there is some mistake, and the program didn't come to the end. Okay. So far so good. Yeah. Well, maybe any questions here from the scratch? Okay. Okay, we'll come to questions. Yes. So I don't need to do this every time, but I will try to figure out.
Shift F5.
Shift F5. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, so we have written, I forgot to tell that all the lines are executed from bottom to from top to the bottom. Yeah, just one by one. And this time means that the line is executed. And actually, let's switch back, and I'll show you where we have it. Yes, I'm coming back. This was the first way of printing a message. Second way, for example, we can open this console. So I'm writing not here, but here. And I can write like print hello KC MBAI. I push enter, and it's just right. So right now the big difference, you don't feel it yet, but the big difference is here in console, I just jump in command, and he tells me the result, and there he runs all the file. Yeah, and right now, right now I'll tell that this time, if I write the reservation this time, it means that I tell computers that some particular command. Okay, so that was all. Okay, so the set should be 5. Yes. Oh, great. Well, I didn't know that. Shift and 5. Okay, so we can written our first comment. Yes. So here I already told it to you that this is the first way when you write there in text editor, and this is the second way when you write it here. So just so you, this is the console, that is text editor. Okay, so let's start. Let's start from the simplest topic, like the basics of computer science. It's called variable. So a variable is a named location used to store data in the memory. So you can think of like you take some number or some string or some data and put it to the variable and give it a name. Actually, in Python, comparing to other languages, because it's high level, it's actually you, for example, say that a is equal to 5. You tell computer that a is equal to 5, but actually you tell that that a signs to address to the number 5 in computer memory. This writes somewhere number 5, like underneath the computer, and a gives points to that address. Yeah, I'll show you. But this is like technical details I just added. So at first you can think that you just have a box called a, and you assign the value 5 to it. I'll right now switch on the lights and I'll show you. Yes, it's helpful to think of variables as a container that holds data which can be changed later. Right, the values variables can be changed later. This is one of the reasons why we use Yes, in Python we don't assign values to the variables, whereas Python uses the reference of the object to the variable. This is what I said. I'll just try to explain. Right now. Yeah, I will go with Precourses, no problem. So, like basically, you can understand that, for example, if I write a is equal to 5, basically, like just theoretical, you take 5 and put it to the a. If you write a is equal to 10, it means that the next line, this is the first line and the second line. It means that you take 10 and put it to the a, and a now is 10, not 5. Yes, so this is what I say about container. We think of variables as a container. So, for example, b is equal to 7. So, yes, like this, I can write like this. So, if I will ask my computer, well, what is a plus b? What will be the answer?
17.
Yes? Everybody knows. Because I take from this file, 10 plus 7, and I get 17. So I put 5 here, then I said no, I put 10 here, I put 7 here, 10 plus 7 is equal to 17. Yeah, so this is like a very...
So A is a variable. A is a
yes.
container.
Yes.
And B is a container.
Yes, but in Python it actually is a pointer to the some variable. So we will discuss it later because right now we don't need it. But actually, what is A? A tells computer A is address, and it tells computer where this file is. Yes, and if it is to tell it 10, it tells now it shows to 10, where 10 is somewhere in the computer, some resistors say computers that this is 10, and A is address. Well, but this is kind of a little bit complicated. Only after a while you can you will feel it, you will work with it, and then you will understand the importance. Okay. So let's actually check me whether I'm wrong or not.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Okay, everybody can see, right? So let's start from here, from the text editor. So for example, a is equal to 5. I run it, and what it tells me that process finished with exit code. A is equal to 5, and so on. So it runs it. It doesn't give me any output. Why doesn't give me any output? Because I just didn't ask him to give me any output. So I just can write print A, and now it is 5. So I told computer, puts 5 in A, and they print me, and now it is printing. So, for example, let's make this A is equals to 10. What will happen? Now it's 10, because I told the computer A is equal to 5. No, A is equal to 10. Print A, and it's 10 already. Yeah. Now let be 7. So I'll enter what will happen. Nothing changed, of course, because I just introduced B. And now I can write like the first way is like C equals to A plus B. And I write print me please C. And C is 17. Yeah, again, very slowly. So A is equal to 5, then rewrite A is equal to 7, then B is equal to 7, then C is equal to A plus B, 10 plus 7, and then write me 17. This is like the more or less long way, because actually I can get rid of C, right? I can just delete it, and I can write A plus B. And this is the same, right? So I don't need to put, don't need the variable C. I just write A plus B. But by the way, this is like a new thing. But 20 years ago, it wasn't in all the programming languages, but in Python there is some possibility that already write this stuff. Shorthand don't need to assign variables to each action. Okay, so I can actually delete it. And now let's try our Python console. So here there is like the elements from MBAI, and for example, I will write A is equal to 5. And here I don't need to push Ctrl plus Shift plus 10, I just push Enter. And you see, here appears like A, and it is 5, and it is integer. It tells the type. Also variable. I will cover it in shortly. Now I write A is equal to 10, and it changed. So here we have console, and here we have you can watch where the variable is listed. Right? Now I'll write B is equal to what? B is equal to 7. So I will write B, and this is equal to 7. And now I can just write A plus B. No print is needed, because in console it just shows me what it is. Yeah, right? So 17. So A plus B is equal to 17. No prints, nothing else. It could be a little bit confusing to see right now what is the connection of this one to this one, but we will cover, like, I think on Thursday. Yeah, right now you can just understand that you have at least 2 ways in this program to run somehow your code, and it could be either in text editor, either in Python console. Yeah, actually this is one of the reasons I wanted you to see like how it really looks in IDE, because in Jupyter it is you basically work mostly like in console type, this kind of mix, but in console type, and here you can write really complicated programs in your PC. Okay, let's back to the presentation. Shift 5. Wow. This is I will note it down because it's a good trick. Thanks so much. Okay, so here is like the longer way, here is the shorter way. So I used a little bit other number size, 42 and 17, and so on. But it's just for you I will send you later after the meeting the presentation. It's for you to have like in your memory what is going on here. Okay, let's go further. Right now, we work only with numbers, right? So these guys are numbers. like 1, 2, 3, and this is called an integer number. Integer stands for Celer числа, and integer numbers. So in Python, we will work with the following main types of variable. Well, actually, there are, even today we will cover a little bit of data structures, but I prefer to call each types of simple variables, and they have 4 types, and that data structures are data structures, they are other types, they are other things. So, the first data type is integer. It is called int. And the really pleasant thing that Python, in programming language Python, you don't need to declare the type of variable. So probably somebody who worked in other programming languages, they remember that, for example, in C++, you must write like int blah blah blah, and you create when you create a variable. But in Python, you don't. This is one of the hints of the language. So, those objects, they have certain I don't know, characteristics, and all of them are integers. So it could be numbers like 42, 17, 9, 0, or minus 5. All of them minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. Numbers are integers. Yes. Second? The next one is float. Float from English language stands for поплавок. It means like there is a поплавок or something changeable. So it's like basically float. It means by this dot or comma. It means дробное число or decision дробное actually. So it could be, it looks like 42.00, 17.00, 9.00, 0.00, minus 5.00. By the way, just I have written like 2 signs after the dot, but it could be any, not actually any, but a lot of signs after the dot. So you can write like 42.0000 and it will be fine. The next one is string. So string stands for строка, and it could be different. Like for example, you can have a string called KSC, Kyiv School for Computers. You can also have a string like MBAI. Yeah. You can have a string machine learning. Also, you can have a string штучный интеллект. It means that it supports the string, at least like in the majority of computers and with majority of options, it supports other languages also. And here comes the tricky thing, that 5 could be as integer, it's minus 5, but 5 could be as integer, but could also be a string. So if you work with 5 as integer, it means that computer understands this like a number, and you can add it, multiply, do whatever you can do with a number. But if you write like this, it understands like a string, like a text. So you can't work with it like a number. You can just work it with the text. Same story with floats. They can be. We can work with them as strings. Yeah, and by the way, to give idea you that this is a string in Python, particularly in Python, you surround it with quotes. This is called quotes. So if you see some quotes, it means that this variable is a type of string. And another important stuff, if you noting something, then remember, in Python there is no difference between single quotes and double quotes. So single quotes and double quotes, they both mean strings. Yes, and this was done because to give you the tool to avoid citation in your string, you have some single quotes. For example, you can have a name Mariana, right? And Mariana is written. Well, I can show it. You can show it to you. Like yeah, Mariana. Let's keep in mind. Yeah. this I'll show it to you right now. This the fourth last data type which is really important is bool. It has no intervals, true or false. So it's concept widely used in book programming. It is actually common to all the programming languages, but just keep in mind that Python is case-sensitive language, so in Python it doesn't mean whether the letter is big or small. In some languages no, but in Python yes. So right, true is a big T and false is a big F. Yeah, and the last variable which has only one representative is not type, it's none. It's like nothing. Yes. It is just for you when you see it, you understand what it is, but it just like means nothing. Okay, so as I said already, in Python there is no need to specify a type of variable. So you just write the variable, you just assign it, and you work with it, and you don't need to write this is integer, this is string, this is bool. Yeah, and second thing I also told you that Python is case sensitive. So true false instead of true false with small letters, write big letters. Yeah, okay, just I will show it to you with the questions and a little bit of break. Okay, so I open music, right? Okay, and switch off the light. Now I will closer into these types. Okay, so you can see I will work at the beginning here. So you have seen that I created a type is equal to a is equal to 5. I run this program, and everything is good. The code now. I can also create B, but B it will be case C. Yeah, again, and if I will ask computer print A, it will print me 5. If I again will ask print B, it will print me both 5 and case C. By the way, this is a neat, a cool stuff in Python that when you write something, the IDE tells you, suggests you what should you write as, for example, if you write breaker and so on, lots of stuff, but I don't want, I will just go further, so for you to see. So print A, print B. Okay, right now, okay, let's B. Right now, see that let's create from C, which is type, and let's print here A plus C. So 5 and 15. 5 and 15, and yeah, and we can actually delete this. No, let it a little bit. So and print B also. So 5, 15, okay, and now comes the actually very interesting part. So imagine that. Just let's start from. I'll show you what is the type. So let me understand what is the type of A. What is the variable is the type? I write type of A. I run the program, and nothing happens because I just wrote type of A, and I didn't tell my computer to show me what is the type of A. So I need to actually write print type A, and I run the program, and it tells me, actually there is 5 variables, just so class int. So I can, for you to be clear, I can this on command and run, and you just see that the program is run and tells me to class int. So what is going on? I tell computer, hey computer, you have A which is equal to 5, you have B which is equal to case C, you have C which is equal to 10. So I put this sign, this dash, or not the dash, oh my god, I forgot the DS, DS, and it means that this particular line is not implemented. So it is called comment. So I just commented it. So when I delete this sum, it has this blue color, which means this function, and this is a variable which comes to this function, and when I again put it, it becomes green, and it doesn't run. So computer runs the first line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line, the fifth line. These 3 lines it doesn't run because of this sign, and then it runs string type A. So what is the type A? It gives me that it has class int, which stands for integer. Right? Okay. So let's uncomment this A plus C. Print A plus C. Now it is 15 and class int. But what if I will do if I will create A like a string? So right now it is a string, right now it is an int, but I can create right like that. It is like this. And I'll run this program. Wow, and I do see an error. Why? Because I told the computer, please, I will make it clear a little bit for you. I will delete it. Let it be like this. So I have A which I put 5 in single quotes, B which I put C in single quotes, and C which I put just 10. And I ask computer, print me what will be A plus C. And he tells me that there is some error. So process finished with the exit of 1. 1 means mistake, right? And what is the error? It must be string, not int. Aha! So something must be string, not int. So for example, I can just print A plus C. So what will happen if I will put this in single quotes and make it string? I run this program, no mistakes, but it gives me 510. Why? Okay, can somebody explain?
You could get strings 1-1.
Yes, absolutely right. So it thinks of 5 as a string, of 10 as a string, and it just concatenates it. Okay, so this is one version. But if I will make it again as integers, it will give me 15, because it just understands this. It's like 5 and 10 as integers and makes some arithmetic operations. Yeah. So, for example, this is one neat trick. So let's, for example, ask our computer what is the type of B. And this is str. So this function type of something gives you a possibility at least to know which is the type. But also you can see by your eyes, yeah, so these integers are blue and strings are in single or double quotes, and they're green. By the way, let's check about the double quotes. Let's get, for example, C. Yes, and I'll say like this is cool. And now I'll write to give it type. Type will be a string, but let's not think about the type. Let's just write this. Okay, C is cool, right? So I just take the variable B, I make it plus to Z, and I concatenate. Concatenate stands for soedinить. Yeah, so this is how we work with things. So when you add two numbers, 10 plus 5, you will get 15. If you add two strings, for example, 10 and 5, what will you get?
510.
Sorry?
510.
Yes, but vice versa. Yes, 10 plus 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
105.
105, indeed. And when you will add 5 as integer and 10 as string, you will get error. Yes, right. And yeah, right. And let's have a break. A couple of minutes. Guys, let's continue. So we had a look on integers, we have a look on strings, very basic look. Concerning two strings, we will cover a little bit later, then really deeply. But now let's have a look on floats. So, for example, A is equal to 42 point, B is equal to 17, like 5, right? 52. And let's print A plus B. And we will get such number, right? Because why actually we have the 6 here? Anybody knows?
No.
Okay, so I will not go deeply into this. It's because when your computer has a limited amount of memory, so mathematically it can give you 9 period eternally. But in fact, every computer has limited amount of resistors and it has, it can count like this only till this number, right? So in this case, so if you want to increase this number, you need a really long number with a high precision. You need to use not integers, not floats, but other data types. Yes, but I'm not sure that we will talk about it. But just keep in mind that this is not a bug. This is just it calculates with this. And if you want to have you need a really precision. If you are making a program which will drive your car to Mars, right? You need really precision. You need to use other types of variables. Okay, so let's print which is the type of this A plus B. And it tells you that this class is float. So this is float. Okay. So what will happen if we have this is integer because there is no dot, and this is float because it has dot. What will happen if we will add integer to float? It will make it float. If you have some, if you don't believe that everything goes good, we can change this to 10, and it's like 10 plus 752, and it is 27 plus 52, and the type of it is float. And that's why I use that. This is class. It's called float. Okay. Floats are useful. With floats, you can do a lot of stuff, and you will work a lot with floats. Yes, and the last type I wanted to mention is bool. Let's, for example, write this as true, and B that's false. And what will be if I write print A? It gives me true because I just ask him what is the value of A. What will be the value of type of A? Yes, so it gives me object. It runs line 1, line 2, line 3, 4, 5, and it gives me that A is true and type of A is bool. So this is the last thing you need to remember. So what do we have? What did it show? What classes can you have? Can anybody tell the practices? Which form?
Integer.
Yes.
Bool.
Yes.
Float.
So sorry? Float string, indeed. So int, string, float, and bool. There are others, but we just cover only this form, right? Okay. So actually, this is it. This is what to do with it. We will continue. And but here we can claim this is it. Yes. Int, float, string, bool. Okay. Now, like this is variable 3. Variables of different types can be derived in different ways. Yeah, so actually this is somewhere like this. So integer plus integer, C is equals to integer. Float plus integer is equal to float. And this is one neat thing. If you, I mean, just here, just notice how I write it. So you can declare variables not the row, the next row, but in one row. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, just also. In Python there is a nice function type to determine the type of variable. So how many functions have we used so far? We use just print and type. Yes. So and they follow the parentheses. Parentheses stands for Google Scope. And it means that the print and type are functions, and they do something with the object which is surrounded by parentheses. About functions we will talk later, but just keep in mind that this print, so I put C down there and it gives me some result, it returns me some result. Yeah. So about keywords later, but just a quick hint. This is a really Python thing. Ouch. 1 second. This is really a Python thing. So for example, I can write A, B, C is equal to 15, true, and case C. What will happen if I will run it? I run it. Wow, I get code 0. I have no mistakes. So in one line, I can declare several variables. What it will write me if I will write print type B? What will it will write me? Sorry? Let's check. Let's go. And type C. Yes. So this is fun rule, I guess, in C++. Actually, I don't know, but not in many programming languages you have such possibilities. You can declare variables without any identifiers of this type and just using comma. This is very useful. So it's really convenient. It's really cool. Yeah. So let's get back. Yeah, and notice that you can make name for a variable any name except of keywords. Again, right now, today, I name all my variables just A, B, C, right? But the thing is, it's not very good practice, because when you just name A, B, C, the people who will read your code, or even you later, they could lost the thought why, what does it mean. So it is better in Python to give variables proper names. For example, let's again. So there's a transition element. What can we do actually? Yes. Okay, so I called it ABC, but it is better to call them like a name. So you can call it like number of students, then B, let it be true, what can be started or not, and C can be school, well, university. If I run it, I will get a mistake. Why? Because name C is not defined. So I changed my variables, yeah, because I wanted to show you that that it's better to handle with this. But I didn't change my variables, so this is the type of mistake it is called name error. So something uses name. So okay. So now I would like to see started or not. I begin to write, and NumPy or Pasham gives me advice that I would like to, I can choose among these existing variables. So for example, here this is called built-ins. So it's something that is already built in file. I mean, here nothing is written, so this that I created here or is somewhere here in the file. So this is kind of shortcut for you. So I begin to run just STA and the variable is long, and then everything you need is just need to push enter. Yes, start returning now. And now I run, and it tells me that bool is that type of this is bool because started or not. I create a such variable. I create a variable of number of students and started not then the university. Then 15 goes to number of students. Started or not true. It means started and KC to university. And just little bit. So this is the first trick. Interesting stuff. So you can declare variables using a comma, and now little bit another different story. So for example, now you can create a variable n is equal to 15 number of students, for example. This is better because nobody will remember that you mean by n number of students, but at least it's good than better than a. Okay, so a. So for example, you remember that I can comment write if you would like to create a variable for number of students. So you can logical. So you can call it like A, just the first letter, the first three letters. You see, you're right, but it's bad. Why? Because nobody will understand what is A. You can create n is equal to 15. It's little bit better because at least n stands for number of students, so some guess would be implemented, but still it's not a very good idea. You can create it in such a way, number of students. You can write it such a way. Actually, you can write anyway, but there are some different styles. You can create like this, or you can create like this. Okay, so these are the three guys. Okay, you can write actually as you would like. There is no any law for naming variables. So at least these three represent one of three agreements between people how to name long variables. So this is with spaces. Down with spaces, you start like this. You split the words by spaces. This is by letters, and this is by dashes. So this is called camel case. This is called big case, and I'll actually check how this is called. But for you, this is the best way because this is a Python way. So I can comment it like it's Python way. Well, the big difference is the only thing is in some cases some people write big first letter. In some cases people write small first letter. But as far in my practice, majority of cool Python is people who consider themselves cool and then so on, they write with small letter, but the traditional way is to write a big letter. Yeah, so that's how you call variables. And notice how I used here comments and how I used here comments. And actually it's not the only way to use comments, but we'll complete it a little bit later. No? So F1. Okay, so but you can't name variables using keywords. So there are like at least at item 3.78. There are 3.7. Yeah, also there were 33 keywords. So you cannot name your variables as this because they are reserved for in Python for making some stuff. So for example, it could be and, as, start, break, class. And actually, by the way, majority of these words, they are actually we will study what was in. So what will happen if you will try to do this actually? Okay, so let's. Okay, let's erase it. Everything. Let's always run program not to hold in memory what was there left from the previous program. Yeah, and for example, I would like I have a formula like some I must calculate formula. A equals to lambda multiplied by b. So, for example, b is equal to 5, and I'm trying to write lambda is equal to 6 and to 7, and I would like to have b multiplied by lambda multiplied by b. Okay, there are some signs, but I have no idea. Everything just seems easy. I try to run it, and tells me, oh, invalid syntax, invalid syntax, and I begin to see what's going on. So it tells me that I run the program, and in this particular file, which is called main.py stands for Python file. I'm working in this file. Yeah, it is open in line 4. It tells me where the mistake is, and it shows me what is written in this line 4. Invalid syntax. This is remember previously we had an error which was named error, right? And it's another error. It is called invalid syntax. So something is wrong here. So what is wrong? I can deduce that I see lambda is for some reason it is yellow or orange if you like. So, well, it's kind of a problem because why? And I remember that there are some result words and this lambda in doing something, so I kind of named it's my variable like that. So what can I do? I can call it like my lambda, and here also my lambda. And again, in the right, I don't need to write everything, just push enter. And of course, it has this code not new, but I would like to print this A, and it gives me 35. Yeah. So this is easy, but okay. So this is easy, but this is syntax of Python. So in some other programming languages we should have faced before, probably. Things are a little bit more different, or either you can perceive another kind of mistake, either there are other words, and so on. Okay, so now some things to remember. So at first, the Python is a case-sensitive language. It means that variable and variable are not the same. I have already told this when we talked about bools and true and false, yeah. But just then again that. It's when you call a variable, it's important for you to remember actually which you are where you have used the big letters and where you have used small letters. So just don't get in this step. Always keep in mind. Meanwhile, C equals 10 as well. Writing count 10 would make more sense, and it would be easier to figure out. It doesn't matter what it does, even when you look at your code after longer. This I have already told, right? that it means that C, if you must have a label for counting something, C is better than something else, some random letter for count, but it's even better to name the variables properly. Yeah, and multiple words can be separated using an underscore. Like this is a long variable, and I have shown to you, I have shown already two other words. Okay. Any questions for this?
If you wanted to show something about Mariana.
Ah, wow. Yes, indeed, I wanted to show about Mariana. Oh, thanks a lot. Wow. So, for example, Mariana, let's call that I have a sister. I don't actually have a sister, but I would like to write Mariana. So, let's start from Marina. If I write Marina and I write this program, everything is good. Its exit is with code 0, so I just write print sister, and it writes me Marina. Yep. But what happens if I change this to Mariana? So I delete I put single quote, I put yeah, and it's already looks a little bit weird, but I try to run it. All of this, it says me that I have some valid symbols. Why does it happen? So you can actually deduce. So computer starts from the beginning. It sees that single quote. It goes like M, R, A, R, and then it sees another single quote, and it thinks computer. So the computer thinks that your string have already ended, and then it doesn't understand what is like what is it, because it has only single quote in the end. It doesn't have single quote there. So for such cases, the Python community have invented this norm that single quotes and double quotes are the same. So you just delete this single quote, you put double quote, and here false. And now you write, and it's Mariana. Wow, Mariana. So we start from double quotes. Computer goes, finds single quotes, and here's a single, but it's probably into the string. It goes further, then finds double quotes, and yep, we have Mariana. This is actually, thanks a lot again for reminding. This is actually important thing, because just imagine that you are having some data and there are some names, or you work with some strings, and there are some apostrophes, and you need to actually keep in mind this stuff. Wow.
And what is then suggestion for strings?
Sorry?
You said there is some Python then, yeah? Some guidance. Do they tell something we usually use?
Well,
double quotes or?
Yeah, the actual Python yes, indeed, but not particularly for strings. It's like how you make hold and like general principles, not for this particular department, for this particular things. In Mariana is just implementation which many people face with. It's very concrete. It's not Python. Then it's just one of the problems that Python can actually.
I mean, by default, shall I use single?
You mean whatever you like. Yes, single quotes, double quotes. But it's better if you use everywhere single quotes, then use single quotes. If you use everywhere okay, example, double quotes.
There is no guidance.
Sorry?
There is no some strict guidance, yeah. So.
Yeah, yes. Actually, yeah. Sorry, very good question. Because you can. There is, and I told it already. So in your code, if you use single quotes, use it everywhere. If you use double quotes, use it everywhere. Which one to choose? It's up to you. Yeah. Okay, just one second. Okay. Good. Let's okay. It's created a lot of different windows. Okay, so now we continue. We passed actually already in the middle of our meeting, of our seminar one, and now let's devote those 25 minutes for the break. The second break to operators. Okay, so operators are special symbols in Python that carry out arithmetic or some logical computation. The value that the operator operates, like the value which it works, it's called the operand. It's like there is subject and object in browsers. The same story is here. And the resulting value is called output of the operation. Okay, and we will cover, there are like 6 main types of operation: operators, assignment, arithmetic, comparison, identity, logical, and bitwise. We will definitely not cover bitwise because we don't need it, and maybe assignment we will cover it with bitwise. Okay, so let's start from arithmetic operators. So this actually they are used to perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication. You will use all of them. So it's like to add two numbers, you use sign plus. To subtract, you use sign minus. This to multiply, this to divide, this to is like modulus. It explores the remainder, and this is for division, and this is exponent. So just keep in mind symbol. For example, different languages for exponent could be caret like this, but here in Python 2 stars. And this is for division. It leaves only the whole number of the number. And keep in mind that this is actually works with which numbers, with which types of variables. How do you think all of this works? With integers and with floats. Because you can add a specific, if you work with strings, all this sign can mean, you have a meaning, a little bit another meaning. So let's get back to school, and let's okay, I'm already here. Okay. So let be x is equal to 42 and y is equal to 17. Everybody sees everything, right? Okay. So let be print x plus y. It's we have already seen. It's 59. Now let's copy that and print x minus y. 25. Okay. Now let's copy that and print multiply y. And now let's copy that and print 2 stars. Whoa, very big number. Now let's print x divided by y. So look, we receive this number. So it actually takes integer, another integer, and receives float in there, right? This is interesting. If you would like to receive an integer, then you can use this one. So here you divide 42 by, you take 42 divided by 17. Here you receive this number like float, and here you can receive only the integer value. So this sign stands for integer value. And what will happen if I write this? Y8. Can somebody explain? like 8, right? And receive here 8.
This is, I forget this form. You can divide this by y on some like whole part, but this is what you compare in the.
Yeah, it's called it's called the remainder.
Okay.
So
yes. That's the same question.
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually cool stuff. So I'll just choose one. Very fast. So we can divide like this 42, 17, right? So you take 2, so it's like 34, right? So and this 42 minus 38 is like 8. And now we have some, you can have some 0 and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is like this computation gives you this 8, which is called the remainder. So why I wanted to tell some stuff for the high school. Well, this could be needed in some senses. For example, in some programs when you hear some when you need to decipher something or to understand how to decipher something. So this could be a neat trick, but it just shows you how to work with this in our class. Okay. Okay. So, okay, these guys were arithmetic operators, right? And you must keep in mind that these signs, they mean like the actions with the digits and so on when they talk about integers and floats. But what will be if I will make KC plus MBAI, like 2 strings? You know it. Yeah? Okay, what will happen with it? You can have like this A is equals to KC and B is equals to MBAI. What will happen if I print A plus B?
String?
Yes, concatenation. Yes, we already covered, but just keep in mind that these arithmetic operators, they are only for bools and floats, and they don't work for another types of operators. Okay. Now let's come to comparison operators. Again, high school, greater than, less than, equal to. This is important. Not equal to. This is also, it's about things, so in some languages it could be 2 with signs, but here in Python it's exclamation mark and the equality sign. This is greater than, also syntax, and this is less than. So let's again come. We will change our view. So I can erase all the stuff. So, for example, A is equal to 42, B is equal to 17. I run this program, it gives me an answer. So, for example, print A is bigger than B. And it tells me true. Why? Because this comparison, it takes those variables and comparison, and it actually gives me the result. So, for example, just for you to understand, like I can write even like C. This is actually quite cool. A equals to B, right? I'll run it. Nothing happens, but code 0 it means something is okay. So I take A plus B. And I compare them, and I store the result in my C. So if I write type of C, who knows what you will get? Yes, indeed, boom. I will every instance, right? I just take A and B, I compare them, and I receive a blue value of C. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. So the greater than, less than, and this is important to keep in mind that if I want to check equality, then I use two equal signs. If I want to assign something to a variable or some other object, I use one sign. So, for example, let's delete everything. Like A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 10. I run it and I know that B is not defined. So let it be like 3. Yeah, and what is going on here? So when I write A is equal to 5, I mean assignment. This is highlighted in the commenter. This is assignment. And this is 2 equals sign. This is comparison. Okay, so if I write print A, then it gives me 5. If I write print B, it gives me, of course, 3. And print C is equal to this, print C. It gives me false. Why? Because B is not equal to, because B, which is equal to 3, is not equal to 10. So, yeah, this is just very basic, but you just don't get confused that this stands for equality. This again stands for not equality, not equal. Yeah, this is greater than, I think we will not go into this, and this is less than. It's the same story but vice versa. Okay, these were comparison operators. Now logic operators. This is a nice thing in Python because if anyone works with a lower level language than Python, it could be really cumbersome to remember all this ampersand, which stands for and or for or not and so on and so on. But in Python it's all just English words. It was quite a thing when Python is began to use this way. So you can actually check and or not. So for example, we can go into use this. It's better to use like in the book algebra, so I can erase everything. For example, let A be equal to true and B equal to false. So print A and B. So this end becomes, as you see, yellow or orange, and it gives me some. So I run, and it's false. Why? Sorry? Yeah, it's just Boolean algebra. You take true, you take false, and they. Well, actually, you write this. Okay, this is also easy, but for you to remind. Yeah, we can write this extremely simple table. I will very softly call it Boolean algebra. I will give you some stories. So, for example, if we have true and true, the result A and B. The result C is equal to oh my goodness, I miswrite in the other direction. So this is Okay, let me answer. True plus true is equals to true plus false is equals to false. False plus true is equals to false. False plus false. Also false. And this is everything for this is for and. Okay, and for or you can take obviously it will be for operator here will be true, here will be true, and this false, and for not vice versa. So well yeah. It's just takes a lot of time to write it. You can just easily Google the table. So yeah, so print A and B. It uses false, right? Okay, and again, yeah, and it's an operator. A and B is equals to false. If I run some C, and I will check true and true, A and C, I'll get true. Okay, but this is an operator, but I also have or operator. So if I take A and B, true and false, or means or, like take either truth of it, and I will run it, and I will get true. Because I just take A, B, true or false, and I will take, I have at least one true, so I will take true. If I change to it A to false, I will get false. And like let's come back to true. And the last one is like not A, for example. So not A means that I take, I can do this, not A means that I take A as true, and it has only true or false. And I print not vice versa, so it gives me false. And this could be, this is very kind of logic, so for example, B is equal, no, I mean, not kind of logic, this is called Boolean logic, so I can write even more complicated relations. So, for example, A and B, not A and B. So, A and B, it is false, and not false, it's true. So it writes me that true. If I will take this again not, it will obviously give me false. And I can even more like A or not A or B, and only true. So it's just called Boolean logic, and you can go and this is you understand. So why this works? So A and B, So A is true, B is false. So A and B is false. Not false is true. Not true is false. And now I have false and A. And true and true is true. Yeah. So it works like this, and it's actually quite important. Yeah. Just understand the logic if you have some complicated problems. Okay, let's be 7 minutes till the break. Let's cover another thing. Yeah. Let's finish with operators. So another the fourth category of identity operators in Python are called identity operations. They actually two of them. It's like is or is not, and they determine what is or is not. But we can say that they used to check if two values are located on the same part of the memory. Yes. So this is quite tricky. We will cover data structures. We will begin to cover data structures after the small break, and you will see like the application of it. But even now we can even now we can check on a very small scale, like right. So for example, A is KC and print A is KC. So it's like a equality sign, but it is actually is. So it goes like this, but you will later understand why this is important, because in this particular small example, it is identical to the not equal operator, but actually in future we'll see that it's not equal. Okay. Well, let's make a 5-minute break right now, and at 8:50, we will start again till 9:30, and we will cover data structures. Okay? Okay, guys, let's continue. We have only 40 minutes remaining. So we will cover a little bit about data structure. So, okay, we cover some variables, for instance, stuff A plus B and so on, but to work with data, description of the data, it's actually impossible with these variables. So programmers of finance, and programmers, computer scientists in general, they discovered some ways how to keep all data together, and they build different data structures, and we will look at main Python data structures, which are the following, which are lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. So lists stand for specific, tuple or tuple. It's really, it depends who really English speakers, they can call it either tuple, either tuple. I prefer tuple, but you can call it tuple. It stands for cortege. In some other Russian or Ukrainian speaking literature, tuple is translated as cortege. Sets, множество, and dictionaries, slowly. Well, actually, I'm telling this Russian and Ukrainian names, and they're actually used. So if you just go to some, I don't know, like even interview in machine learning, you could call interface like write some. Напишите, что в этом картаже. То есть, можно ли в Python менять элементы картажа? Это же другой вопрос. Well, this I'm telling that it's just those English words and the translation into Russian Ukrainian, because it is actually a little bit important. So we will start from list, because list is running. You will work with lists a lot. So lists in Python is like a Python version of array. Array machine. It's like a handle. It's a collection of data, and probably everybody worked with some arrays in their school, because like in school they must be covered on the informatics lessons. But in Python, arrays are a little bit more, lists are a little bit more high level than array, because usually array is, for example, in C language, is just a chunk of memory, like this, of some type. Yeah, and it has its address and in our understanding some index. Okay, it's in lower level language like Pascal, C, and so on. It's like this. In Python, it's a little bit different. It's like a pointer to the value which lives in this cell. So this is quite important, because in Python lists are mutable. So I'll comment that mutable stands for you can change them. So list is another sequence of items. It's ordered right. Every element has order. It is one of the most used data types in Python. It's flexible. All the items in the list do not need to be at the same time. And for example, I created two lists. The first one, this, and second this. So, well, when we talk about lists, we mean everything that contains in this square brackets. So I write square brackets, and it means that everything that in there, it is elements of a list. Yeah, by the way, if I write, for example, list L1 3, I mean like the third element of a list. But yeah, but I will confuse you. But when we like declare some object, we put it in braces, and the computer understands that we are talking, that we are trying to create some list. Okay, so I created two lists, L1 and L2. L1 consists of 2019. Which type is this variable? Integer, yes, right. Case is this one? String. Yes. Float? Bool. So for this is quite interesting because you know, like in C language, for example, you couldn't have you didn't have opportunity just to create a list with different types of labels. You must have created like some type to say that you can only hold integers. So for example, this is 5, this is 3, this is -2, 0, 4, 1. This is like in C. But in Python, it works not like you just divide like the bunch of memory to this. In Python, it's like more like this. Like you have arrows that point to some different objects like this. So, well, this for you this may mean like blah blah, not very important stuff. Where is our machine learning? But the thing that is actually really important. This is one of the reasons why Python is called high-level computer language, and why this is useful to such stuff for machine learning, because you can easily manipulate this because it's really high-level. Programmers in like in like 80s or 90s, they didn't have such opportunity to do it like this. Okay, and this is just another list. Okay, so let's create this list and just look a little bit in action in them. So, can you please switch off the light? Okay, so I would like create a list. What will it be? I just write single brackets. Right? So I write 2019 KSC 42.00 and what was that? False. And I named this list L1 for example. Yeah, the process to finish with exit called 0, it means that everything is great in my case. What if I would like to see what's there? I just write L1 and print, and it can print this list to me. Okay, so let's, for example, create another list. Let's at the beginning see what's there. So, for example, I would like to see what is the third element in this list. So, L1, I put to get the element, I put one must write again brackets, square brackets, and L3, and I assign this to some variable 1, for example. And what you will give me if I will write 1, print 1? False. False, indeed. Why? Because yes, it's from 0. This is 0 element, this is 1 element of index 0 or index 1, of index 2, of index 3. And here I say computer, hey computer, go to list L1 and take me the element with index 3. It goes, it finds this is false. And it assigns this variable var, and I just print var. Yeah. So var, and it gives me in the end false. Well, the interesting thing is like the lists are mutable. So, for example, I can add something to the list. How can I do this? For example, I can write a function called append. Well, okay, so there is no append in the presentation. If you want, you can note it, but then again, you just need to understand that it is done, and then you, by yourself, remember all the methods that are there. So, for example, I would like to let a number as a thing. I run it, code 0, okay, and I print L1 now. I print L1 now, and now my element, my list has 5 elements. This, and 33. So it appends. It basically puts it to the end of the list. Append means, if I'm not mistaken, пришить, добавить, something like that. So we can append some several stuff, for example, like MBAI. No, append it takes exactly one argument. So actually we cannot do this, but we can append. Let's try to append like this. Yes, this works, but what's the problem? So I tried to append 2 elements, but I created a list and I appended a list to the list. So right now my L1 has 5 elements, not 4 from the beginning, but 5. But what is this element? This is the list, right? And if I would like to get MBI, to get like the letter A, for example, is to MBI, I need to actually access the index of the string. The string is the same. It means that there's a string at least. You can also go there and go like symbol by symbol. So, for example, if I want to see what is the second letter of this, I just take L1, then I take four. So it writes me this, and I take 1. It writes me MBAI, and then I take 1 B. So what happened? Okay, I'll just okay. This could be nice. Everybody understands, or not really? What's going on? Why are you here? Not really. Not really?
It's magic.
Sorry?
Magic.
Okay. So I have a list. Okay. Let's see. I think. Okay. Well, let's think a little bit about this. So I have a list. Where is it? Oh, right. In black. So at the beginning, I have a list L1 is equal to 2019. Okay, KC 42.00 and false. Is what happens at the beginning. Then I take this computer, hey computer, please give me this, it takes this L1 dot, it means do something with this, and what to do? Do append, and append to it another list. So I have another list, which is 32 and 23 and MBAI. So I have two lists, and I say computer, please append this guy to this guy. So I took this guy and appended to the end, and now it is 2019. KSC. Then 42.00 is a false. And then it becomes a list of 33 and MBAI. So it has how many elements? Like it has this is zeros, this is first, this is second, this is third, and now it has zeros, first, second, third, and fourth. First element is this one, this list. And now I would like to hey computer write me please L1 reach L1. So go to L1, which is this one, and L1 is this one. So I tell him go to the position 4. Attention, this is really important. So it goes to position 4. And position 4 is this list. Okay. Go to the index 1. So it goes, I found this. Now it looks here. This list and position 1, this is 0, this is 1. It goes to MBAI. Yes, it takes MBAI. And now I want in MBAI, I want to take a letter B. Yes. And here in the string is 0, 1, 2, 3. And so yeah, just this code stands here for this one. This one stands for this one. And this one stands for this one.
Items, they start from 0.
Yes. Both in lists and in strings, they always start from 0. But it's only in lists, not only, but in lists and strings we'll talk about other data types which are not indexed. So if you have some data structures which is indexed, it has like every element has number in it. But there are other data structures which are not indexed, and it will be hard to make lists. Yeah, so thanks. So this is like some lists, for example. Yeah, so you can work with lists. Actually, we can create some simple lists. Like for example of names, like Alice, Bob, and there's like Cam. Okay, so I run it. Yeah, just the same story, but simplification. So if I print simple list, it will give me the list. What do I need to do to receive Alice?
Print L.
Sorry?
Simple list 0.
Right. Else. What do I need to do to receive I? Letter I.
3. No. 2.
Yes, this, and I receive I. Easy peasy. Okay. So actually there are a lot of things to tell about lists, but I will tell it later, maybe because we don't really have time, and battery is also time. Okay, so these are lists, and we can actually, they're mutable, and we can use the slicing operator to extract an item or range of items from a list. It starts from 0. Actually, this is actually fun because we can make David, this is important, and Emily, right? Like, let's run. And if I would like to receive first 3, it takes simple list and just yeah, it's just the first 2, then it's first 3. Representation is a slice of this list up to 12 elements. So this is called slicing. So this is important. This is how we work with in lists, for example, and we will work deeply next time with strings, with this slice. So, so every element has its index. So Alice is index 1, Bob is 2, Camel Alice is index 0, Bob is 1, Camel is 2, David is 4, is 3, Emily is 4. And I tell computer, give me all by this sign. I tell computer give me all up to but not including the third element. The third element is there, right? There. So in Python, if we talk about the end of this slicing, we don't include the third. So we receive only Alice, Bob, Kevin again because it's third, and we go up to but not taking the third, which is there. This is from the end. From the beginning, we can start from 1, for example. We can start from 1, and we will get Bob, Camel, David, Emily. Why? Because here Alice is 0, Bob is 1, Camel is 2, David is 3, Emily is 4. You see the difference. I will even let me 2 just for good view. And here, so you see, we have 5 elements. But if I take a slice and I say that slice up 2 seconds elements, it goes to 0, 1, but not takes in camel, which is the second element in slicing. Yeah, it's like that. But here, starting from 2, including it, so it goes to 0 Alice, 1 no, and camel 2, and all the elements after the second index, it includes. So that's why we have here Alice, Bob, and here camel, David, and okay? Yes, more or less. I suggest you should know this. Yeah, because this is quite important. So again, for the third time, that when you're slicing and you write some number up to which to slice, it doesn't include it. If you write from which to slice, it doesn't include it. This it just doesn't include it. And you can, for example, write like this, like 4, and you can have the same as like starting from 2, including but up to 4. So it's like 0, 1 no, 1 no, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4 no. I'm telling you now about this line. So it's just like the basic of slicing. And if you have a list and you would like to see the last element in this list, the best way to do this is like -1. What will give me? What will give me the last? Yes, M. Yeah, just remember that -1. When I write -1, I go from the line, so like minus. Yeah. Good. And what will give me if I go write -3? Camera. Indeed. Yeah, so this is called slicing. It's when we will work with strings, we will actually cover a little bit this more in detail. Okay. So yes, thanks. So we have still a little time. So this is a list. Very important data structure because later we will work a result of this. You will have like 15 minutes. Remember, maybe it will be the main data structure you work with. The next one is a tuple. So tuple is also a data structure which contains some values, but it is immutable. it means that you can't change this tuple. And if we create a list, I will create this square brackets and I can write a list like this, and tuple like this. So the tuples, will look like this. They can also will contain different types of variables, and they also have indexes. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2 index element. But we cannot add to tuples. We cannot touch any elements. So this is actually a very specific data structure, but you should know this. Because it's very good, for example, for coordinates or for some data that needs to be protected. So if you write some program and you wish that under no circumstances something is changed over there, you should write tuples. Yeah. So it has the same. In many ways, same parameters as a list, but like the main thing that tuples are not mutable. But they look like okay. So for example, I can create T1, like 32 and 55. And yes, I just created, and if I just print type of T1, it will tell me that this is tuple. Why? Because it's like the vectors. But for example, if I created a list L1, for example, which is 22, 3, and 50 is the same, right? So now print L1. So the first guy is a tuple, the second guy is a list. So now let's T1, let's start from L1. L1 first is equal to test, for example. And now let's print L1. So I told the computer, hey computer, give me T1, which is tuple, give me L1, which is list. And they have the same values. And then I say, hey computer, go to L1, to the index 1, which is the number 54, and put there, throw away 55.44, but put there string called test. And then you tell me what is L1, and now L1 is 22.3 in test. Okay, seems easy. And now what I will do if I will tell the computer that is test print T1. Type error. Some problem. Which will coming from? Tuple object does not support item assignment. God bless Python, because this is extremely cool. You just can read in English and you can understand what's going on. So tuple object doesn't support item assignment, so you can't actually change some elements in tuple. So it's protected. But tuples they're also cool, right? So for example, cool tuple, it can contain like 22.4. false, but also it can contain a list of KC and AI. I write it, okay, process N. So now I can just pull tuple. I would like to print pull tuple. Then I go to the second element. Then I go to 0, and I will get what? Yes, KC. So these are tuples, and we will.
Can I change the list in a tuple?
No.
No?
Because it's a tuple. Okay.
So there is no conversion function, yeah?
Sorry?
There is no any conversion method, yeah?
Conversion from types to that? Yes.
From types,
Yes,
from
yes.
tuple to list and vice versa.
Yes, we can, but it will be another object. Yeah, good question. So, for example, wait, cool tuple, cool list. So, so I write cool list is equal to list, cool tuple. And now I print cool list. Now it's another object. It's created a copy, so you can do whatever you want with this list. Yeah, whether it's nice, and vice versa, you can actually do like if you have cool list. Oh, okay. So just believe me that you can here I use the function list, but you can also use the function tuple to create a tuple from some list and so on. Yeah. So 10 minutes remaining. Let's go to dictionary. Okay, so here we come to the dictionary. Dictionary is a very cool thing. It's a data structure which is like a sign that you are working with high level programming languages, because with the low level programming language you have nothing like dictionary. So dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. It is generally used when you have a huge amount of data. Dictionaries are optimized for retrieving some data. So, dictionaries are defined using braces. So, braces are this figurative sculpting. So, with each item being a pair in the form of key value, and you write key value with semicolon between them. Key must be immutable type, and value can be of any type. This is important. And if you want to retrieve some value, we use some key to get it. Well, so if we have list like square brackets, tuple like braces, then you have dictionaries like curly braces where A is equal to 1 or something like that. So these are, for example, I have dictionaries, algebra 25, calculus 20, PT 19. So algebra yeah, we understand. It's subject. For example, it could be groups in some university. Yeah, there will be groups in some university. Group algebra has 25 people, calculus has 20 people, probability of theory has 19 people. And second, the dictionary is almost the same, but it can show you that it has some, actually it is big over here, so it contains some values from different values, different keys and different pairs. So let's go to and create some dictionaries. So D1, yeah, algebra 25, calculus 20, 18, 19. So I run the course, exit code 0. So I have a dictionary called D1. It contains 3 key value pairs. So if I want to see how many students are in group algebra, I just write here algebra. If I run, of course, nothing will happen, but at least it doesn't give me a mistake, so I can work with this. So print is 25. So if I write dictionary and then square brackets, in case of list and tuple, I've gone to the index of the element. But here there are no indexes in dictionary. Nothing is 0 or first position. They have only keys and values. And here how we can get, by knowing the key, we can get the value of this dictionary. And we can actually change the value. So, for example, D1 calculus let it be 33. Let's run, no mistakes, okay, so right now let's print D1. It prints D1. So I have told at the beginning it was 20, but now it's 33. So I just told here is your dictionary, go to your dictionary, find the key calculus, and to the value which corresponds to this key calculus, put the number 33. Yeah, actually we can do quite a lot with dictionary, and I think we'll do, but it's not a lot of time remaining, but this is actually quite important. So you can change it, you can actually delete element from the dictionary, you can take keys by values, just for example, let it be like this, and D1, keys. Okay, so this is a method called keys. Yeah, just for example to use, or you can just, if you don't know what are the keys in your dictionary, you can just write keys, d1.keys. Why dot means do something with this object. When we write dot, it is called method. So there are functions and there are methods. We will talk about it on the next segment, but just remember that if you want to do something particular with the object, you can write dot and find all the methods that correspond. So you use method keys, and it gives you the list of all the keys that are present there. Yeah. So these are dictionaries. So dictionaries give a lot of possibilities for you to work with data, so you can actually something create something on order, but corresponding to key values, and you can actually manipulate with this a lot, and we will do this actually in the next meeting. That's a lot about sets. Oh my goodness, I forgot to add a slide about sets. Yeah, so this is dictionary. Yes, thanks a lot. Right now, the least important, really, the least important, I just forgot to put the slide, is called set. This is really much, but I don't know too much. Anyway. So list is square brackets, double is braces, and the dictionary is curly braces with keyword first, and set is just elements with the curly braces. So well, this is the slide. I will edit them on the demo. I'll send to you, but the thing is that yes, I think it's for last time. So, for example, I create a set S1, and I create like 2, 3, 4, 5. And I print it, and it gives me what is there. But I also can like make 3, 3, 3, 3, then comma, and if I print, it gives me the same. So set is such a data type which tells which you can put a lot of stuff there, but it gives you only unique instances. So if, for example, tuple, list, and dictionary, they can hold the same objects. But set, this is the data structure which cannot hold the same objects. So, like how to use it? Well, set is actually really fun because personally I don't use. I use in my job dictionaries, tuples, lists a lot, and so on. I don't use sets, but sets are really good when you need to make your programs run really fast. So, for example, you have a huge amount of data. Yeah. So, for example, you have some not just numbers, but like some data were like Bob, Alice, then Bob, Frank, Johnny, Joe, okay, John. Bob. I forgot about this. I definitely forgot about Bob. Yeah, just wait a second. Maybe you understand why do we need this set anyway. Oh, well, there was a normal one. There is still hope. Oh, and let's make it 0.00. Okay, so print this, and it gives me all the elements in chaotic order. It's it is on top, but it gives me only one block. There are many blocks, but it gives me only one block. So sets are used actually seldom, but at least instances when I know where you can use set is when you are writing very hardcore programs and you work with lots of data and you're interested only in unique values, so you can reduce the time of your program really strong. So yeah, you can do this. Well, yes, I think for now it is okay. So I wanted to cover a little bit more, really the conditionals and for loops, but yes, but yes, here's the set. Yes, it didn't go. But it appears that we don't have so much time, and I have gone to the more details. Yes, so we will cover loops and conditional loops, which is actually programming is more about. And I will consider today we just deeply dive in Python and we were adjusting to studying in English language. Yeah, so the homework, the first homework is quite simple. Okay, so today I didn't even said the crucial word contentation, which is what's without one of the key Python things. Without which you can't write programs will surely be right in the beginning of the meeting, but still you can already try to install IDE, yeah, and this one I suggest, or any other. But if you install any other, I don't have a guarantee that I know all the cases you can face because I just work in PyCharm and Spider, and I haven't used any other IDEs yet. Or you can actually try to Jupyter, but then again, I suggest this idea. Yes, so it was the first to install. Second, get a feel of Python. Try to write like small programs, or it's not actually programs, but at least some try to play with these lists, with dictionaries, with variables, and so on, and with these functions. We have something like function type or function print, or this method. Keys of dict, right? So function is when you write something, you write braces and you put some object there. Method is when you write some object and write a dot right after the object. Okay, and just look again at the presentation and try to feel that you understand everything we present. And the last one, just try to remember the English names for these objects, because I always tell that if we have brackets, it means list. If we have braces or parentheses, it's called, but we can also go basic or parentheses. It means like Google is empty and we call around the top. Yeah, just for you to be in a good mood with these words. Because I always use them a lot. Okay, so thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can ask them.